Bliss win, whether it be in regulation or in overtime, they will have a margin of more than 4 points to second in wildcard. So any win will qualify Team Bliss for the Copenhagen Major. They don't have to stress about the match next week. Situation or scenario 2 is a regulation Bliss loss. This opens the window of opportunity in the Bliss versus wildcard game for wildcard to then go on, win in regulation, and steal that major spot. And the final scenario is an OT Bliss loss. Wildcard will then need to go on and smash Bliss in regulation in that game to make up the round differential that Team Bliss have amounted. So 3 scenarios. Wildcard, they'll be watching on keenly. Team Bliss, though, it's within grasp. It's this close. They just need the dub.
Sorry, I just tuned out there for a second. I was looking into James' beautiful eyes. So I'm either happy for you or sorry to hear that.
I think I said it right.
I think you did.
I hope so.
You did a really good job, guys. All right, let's get underway, though. Band play is over. Solus Falk, Mav, and then the Thatcher all taken off the board. Bliss will be defending first. And that's probably the most critical part about this, right? It's clubhouse defense. Bliss can get off to a really good start here. Put the pressure onto the Carlton's Knights immediately off the bat. But, I mean, to be fair, our last game, we thought probably the same would be said for Circular Spears. Oregon, 5 up, defense. Thought it was job done, getting ready to head back onto the couch, and then 7 in a row. Anything can happen in this region. So, major on the line, hey, says
Ooh.
Neptune. This is definitely one thing this region's gotten a lot better. Yeah, bro, you? Nah, not me.
I don't mind that.
And that's what it's just all meant to be. A bit of banter.
Bit of mental warfare.
Mental warfare. I mean, that's really all it is, though. You're just putting the pressure onto Bliss. I was like, hey, guys, major, you better not stuff this one up. Can't be losing a little old Carlton's Knights minus Carlton.
And it's been the night of upsets. Circular Sphere as well. They thought they'd still be a chance, but they lost out to Aerial Rise in the game prior, throwing a 5-0 lead.
Do you reckon it hypes them up, though? Like, if you were on Carlton's Knights right now, you'd be like, oh, let's just ruin their lives.
Because there's just that extra little spice to it. And look, I have absolutely no idea what banter or drama there may be behind the scenes between players on these two teams. There's probably a bit here and there. So there is just that little emphasis, that little carrot on the stick for Carlton's Knights. Again, to reiterate, 2 teams in major contention. Bliss, Wildcard. Carlton's Knights not in that picture.
Yeah, certainly not. But they are in the picture frame to play spoiler. Over towards Jacuzzi we go. Pat and Neptune. Pat going to open up this Jacuzzi wall. Jigsaw plays main on the dock. He can get a good angle here on this breach if it does get opened up. Instead, he'll just hold for now. Exothermic charge will go off. And yeah, there is that angle. He allows them both to go through and then loses his life. He's let them through the front door, handed them the keys, and off they go into the gym to lift some weights. Bliss, though, they get one response. Immediately, Oda gets the kill onto Worthy, and he's got at least main stairs control. Default gets taken out. But that's not too bad from Carlton's Knights. They'll be thanking Jigsaw for that one to allow them to just push through the breach. He could have got a couple of kills. Brendo and Logistics should find an easy one. Got the ping as well. Pat! Oh, what a shot from Pat. Brendo can't win that one. It's Sage and it's Oda. Of course it's Oda.
So much clutch potential on the side of Bliss, but Oda needs to retake up main. Very tricky. Sage power position over towards Logi. They'll be looking to sync up on the retake, but it's being held. Double stack Jacuzzi. A lurk as well to the left for Oda.
Oh. Plant not going down just yet. Nitrocell out from Sage. Doesn't find the mark, but Oda does. Now makes it a 2 versus 2. And that was Diffuser too, by the way. So Pat losing his life means that Vinny and or Neptune has to go over to the couch and pick up the Diffuser and look for the plant. But they've got a minute. So that's not really on the checklist just yet. The red ping doesn't help. Vincia! D2K with the 2K. Hands in the air and they're ready to party. What an opening round on Gym Bedroom to take this one on the attack. That is the perfect start here on Clubhouse.
Yeah, good explosive start. Getting pressure over towards that top main position. Able to go deep. Carlton's Knights then struggling to get that Diffuser down in decent denial with that Nitro. Diffuser on an island. Vinny steps up, says, I'll take it, and get a couple of kills along the way. So the plant, not the win condition there for Carlton's Knights. And Team Bliss just need to be snappy. They need to be aware. They need to expect the unexpected in a game like this, because I think a lot of Carlton's Knights' success over the last couple of play days has been teams taking them too lightly and not expecting them to come out with such a bang.
It's also very easy to be critical of Jigsaw. Their top main allows the two to go through breach, but it's actually really smart trigger discipline because then you're expecting the third to follow suit, maybe looking towards either following them into gym or not expecting a player top main at that point peaking. He then kills that player. He likely then gets 1 or 2. That's probably round over. So in the long haul, it is the right play. Just didn't quite work. Didn't win the one against the third and ultimately costs them around because then they just get all through breach in towards gym and they've just got too much off-site control at that point. Okay, we head downstairs though. This should be a little bit more of the normality, I guess, for Bliss on the defensive clubhouse. This should be protected much better than gym bedroom. But Carlton's Knights, you give them a couple of rounds here early, and I tell you what, they are probably going to be just filled with confidence that they can maybe cause the upset, the boil over of the century here.
We just don't get too excited though, right?
Yes.
What happened yesterday?
Well,
Aerial Rise first round against Bliss. Bliss turned around 7 straight on the trot.
different teams, I feel like. Different teams.
For better or for worse?
Well, I don't know. Neutral.
It is hard to say.
It's just different.
We're 6 weeks in, we're still not sure.
Same, but different.
Yeah.
I think when you look at the names, right, and for those familiar with the Oceanic League, you will be familiar with Worthy, Vincier, Pat, Phoenix, of course, at the end of last year, Neptune too. So these guys are capable on their best day. And if they bring their best day and Bliss are just that little bit off, maybe one mind is already on the major, it could cost them. But I think that's where Bliss are really good. And they've shown it a couple of times already this season where sometimes they get challenged in a couple of rounds, but then they fight back and they just overpower their opponents, and then they just really put the pressure right back on. Just like that.
Yep.
And Brendo gets the opening kill onto Neptune, takes out the Togepi. And honestly, on a basement defense clubhouse, you get the opening kill, you can just play 5 on site now.
Yeah, and it just nullifies a bit of that low potential now over towards blue, so the likes of Brendo and Jen can sit tight, at least for now. The rest of Carlton's Knights will begin to work the first floor. Hatch opened up. No Kaid in play, so no hatch denial here from Team Bliss. They'll back themselves in to win the trades on the execute.
Oh.
And that Capcan setup inside of bar, we've seen it a couple of times in this stage. It has been successful. That is a setup that is used across the world. A couple of regions have tried it. A lot of people think it's a little bit stupid and a little bit silly, but it even catches out some of the best.
And that's probably round over. There was an opportunity there from Vincia on the Sophia to catch player over towards Generator in blue. Minute left, down 2 players on basement clubhouse. I think this is just also the kind of round at this point, if you're Carlton's Knights, it's whatever. These are the rounds, especially on the attack, that you're happy to just give over anyway. Doesn't quite go your way. Hatch gets denied. So one more exothermic available. Could go back, 40 seconds left. Instead, it's going to be a moto drop. Phoenix over towards bot main. That's where he will make his push. Entry kill, so important here for Carlton's Knights. If they're going to have any hope in this round, they will need 1 or 2 kills. And I like the fact that they saved the exothermic, and they will be able to open up this triple wall. Never mind, denied Oda. Really well placed nade. That will probably be it. Now it'll just be that funnel from bot main, from Moto. And obviously Team Bliss have got the numbers here to just really cut them to pieces.
And the smoke canisters as well from Fish. So round over. Surely here. Vin falls. Phoenix as well now, Pat. 1v4 on an island. And a really good response from Team Bliss. We expected it. Bit of a slow start. Round 1 didn't quite go their way, but very snappy here on the second, dominating basement.
Yeah. Save the KD, Pat. Fight another day. Fight another round. That one was basically over once Brendo gets the opening kill, and then the EDD gets the second. 3v5 on basement of Clubhouse. Absolutely no chance. But we go to Cash and CCTV, and it's sites like this, where if you are Carlton's Knights and you're going to cause the boil over here, you've got to be winning with sites like this.
Yep, so to CC we go. Maverick not in play, so we don't have to worry too much about the wall in that aspect. There is an opportunity for the Bandit and or Kaid to play a role on this side, and it looks like Fish will elect to play that Kaid role, which he is quite infamous on for this team, fulfilling that supportive role. Now, I thought maybe there'd be a world in which we'd see the Montang come out here from the attack when Azami isn't picked, and there is no Azami selected. Not banned out in this game, it is the Valk and the Solos.
Yeah, that was the first thing that caught my eye there. No Azami for Bliss, and you're right, that then means that obviously Carlton's Knights, if they can get a bit of intel on that, maybe can attack a repick. Watching! You can't just go for the blind entry against the team like Team Bliss. 0-4 now for Phoenix, meeting his maker here. Sage, I think, has got this. No, maybe he mistimed it. He got off it. So they do get kennels opened up. 2 minutes on the clock. That puts a bit of pressure over towards this CCTV and Cash side, but Brendo with the Rafters hold, and I think he will make the right play and just get out of dodge. Give up on this position. Otherwise, he can get pinched later. With that kennel's wall opened up, he rotates away. And this is what Bliss do well. They don't take unnecessary risks. This is a qualification game to go to the major. There's no way they're going to be playing around. They're not going to ego peak. They're not going to do things that are silly. They're going to play conventional.
Well, control for the attack over towards CCTV Cash. Breach open. They can begin to exploit these positions, but with man disadvantage, Team Bliss are just going to fall back, understandably so. Jigsaw for initial contact as well, just continuing to apply pressure on these positions whilst minimizing risk. Needs to be careful though of Balcony, and Pat will spray, but the shot doesn't land. Last keeper now out from Brendo, so positions fortified from Team Bliss, and Carlton's Knights need to try their best to isolate a pick or two, but Bliss, as we've seen time and time again, they value their lives so well.
And it's the opposite, really, of the first round, isn't it? Where they got Jacuzzi breached early, and then they were able to push into site early and not allow Bliss to roam, get map control, and then eventually sort of fortify on site. Instead, you go kind of Cannel's side, which has been met with pressure. Then you've got to deal with that. That takes time away. And sort of only now you're kind of putting a little bit of pressure on logistics. Fisher knowing that he's there, but he just honestly got a little lackadaisical. Neptune steps up, finds a big kill, but time a factor here, and you're always going to back in the defense when there's only 20 seconds left in this round.
Oh.
Brendo loses that fight though, but Sage with the Nitro Cell at least gets one back, keeps it at an even advantage now, 3 versus 3. Oda in towards Bathroom, can just hold this position, watches over towards Con. Who's going to come through the balcony? That's going to be Vincier, but he loses his life. Worthy going for the plant. He will get stopped here easily by Jigsaw. Bliss had that one under lock and key.
Started to look a little bit spicy over towards Logi, but a good Nitro down below from Sage, and the clutch factor of this team proving too strong. Every single Bliss defender in the 3v3 winning their fight, denying the plant, and not denied by the attack, failing to watch that angle.
So if you break down the round, right, and you think about what did they go for early? Kennel's wall. They wanted pressure there, and what was obviously being defended, Rafters, Cash, CCTV, etc. You open up Kennels, it takes a little bit of time, whatever. At no point do you really utilize that. You had no one that came through Con. You went balcony. That's fine. Obviously, you still want to pressure Kennels so that no one's lingering over towards CCTV. And then you got logistics. No pressure main, no pressure Jacuzzi. I think 2 very critical areas of attack on this particular site. And they both leave that available for Team Bliss to basically sit in, hold, and it just makes it so much easier for them. We saw that with Jigsaw. We saw that with Oda as well. Just the push back into Bathroom. Super easy. Vinny can't do anything. This is what they do, though. Team Bliss, they just strangle you. They don't allow you to do anything. And especially defense clubhouse, so difficult to break this down. And what was the point of success for Carlton's Knights? Pace, first round. Breach, early, push, go. They didn't sit around. They didn't allow Team Bliss to kind of get set. And they need to replicate that. I think they need to play in a more hurried fashion. Try and catch Bliss off guard. If they're going to go for a roam, try and kill the roamers quickly. Try and get an advantage early. That's what you got to do.
Bar stage, round 5. Good test for teams on the defense here on Clubhouse. Very mixed success globally at the moment. If you're not in sync, if you're not in tune, it's a very difficult objective to defend.
Bring a Jackal.
Yeah,
honestly.
Just try and expedite that process. Hard to really measure what the information gathering's been like. There are a lot of drones still up for Carlton's Knights. I presume a couple of those pre-placed. But threats all around the map. Sage top red. Jigsaw basement, couple of players over towards bedroom as well.
But you notice with Bliss, right? Like Sage sort of just like is always constantly moving without having that full contact. He might even just take a few shots and then move. Few shots, then move.
And it's not moving in a bad way. Sometimes players are moving around because they're a little bit afraid. They don't quite know what's going on. With Sage, every movement he makes is incredibly deliberate. Like, he just runs away. He knows what the time mark is that he needs to defend that position, sees it's a minute 55, he's happy to fall off. And
it means, obviously, for Carlton's Knights, they obviously aren't fully aware. Has he moved? Has he not? Where has he moved? If he's gone top red, is he holding in Cash? Is he just sort of prone somewhere? We have to clear that. That takes time. Okay, now we've got Cash. Now we've got to open up Con. Now we've got to go through Con. Then eventually bedroom, main stairs, then down to kitchen. And by that point, there's 40 seconds left. They're all on site, and we can't win the trades. Like, that's basically the bread and butter here. Basement, clubhouse, Bliss playing it perfectly, not giving Carlton's Knights anything, not giving them a chance of finding a kill. And they might eventually look to obviously go one step further. Leave a lurker logistics, for example, and see if you can then find a kill. If you can't, it still buys more time anyway. And Oda towards Bar, very intriguing here in this setup. And actually did not even realize, not going to lie, guys, that this is Bar stage. I'm not even going to lie.
Worthy deep. Horizontal take here, Carlton's Knights, but maybe pressure from up above. Worthy needs to be careful. Oda cuts down one, and Worthy not looking confident in getting this plant down. Oda stepping up. Worthy did eventually get one, but traded out. It's a 3K for Oda, making Carlton's Knights again look second grade. And Neptune, he was the lurker up above, no success.
Aside or not, it is still all the same metrics there as to how that Bliss played that. Slower move, slower move, slower move. Little bit of contact, but don't give them even a look in, even a chance of getting a kill early in that round. And there's not much more Carlton's Knights can do. Bar stage, okay, so you do want that vert, you do want to clear those positions, you do want to get above. We've seen teams that try to go for that direct take, and it just ends up being an absolute mess. Blitz played that really well. They had people on site. I loved what they did with the keeper barriers, long sight as well between bar and stage. We've seen that. I've mocked it a lot of times, that site, but I think they played it the best I've seen.
Because they did one thing that a lot of teams don't do on that site. Minute 30, they identify that the attackers, Carlton's Knights, they've pretty much given up on top 4. They kept Neptune up there, whatever, not really too much of a threat. The rest of the team rotated down. There was a lot of pressure, stock, kitchen, hallway, etc. And Bliss reacted accordingly. Oda, perfect position. The keeper barriers were placed to defend that horizontal push. Then Worthy, under pressure, couldn't get the plant down. Vertical pressure also playing a factor there from Team Bliss. So every sort of condition that Carlton's Knights were looking to tick off, Bliss just weren't offering it, which has been what they've done so far. It's why they're so dominant.
Yeah, 3 rounds away from heading to the major. That is on the cards here for Team Bliss, and they're doing it in perfect fashion. It's a beatdown. Carlton's Knights got the opening round, and maybe, just maybe, we had some hopes that this one would be at least close, but as it continues, this match is just turning out to be like all the others before it, where Team Bliss have just made everyone else in this region look second rate. No one has been able to go toe-to-toe with them. They are on an island in this region.
Australia is an island.
Continent too.
But technically New Zealand and some of the Polynesian islands can actually compete in this tournament, but New Zealand isn't a real country.
No,
so
it's not even on a map.
No.
Ooh, little drone. Jigsaw loses that battle. Okay, finally, Carlton's Knights get something early in a round. So 10-2, and they get an opening kill. Jigsaw got a little bit ambitious over towards main stairs, and Phoenix gets on the board. First kill of this game. And this just gives Carlton's Knights a look in. A 2-4 half on Clubhouse is not the end of the world.
The Kaid in play this time over towards basement, so just another piece of util that needs to be cleared, and Neptune's impact EMPs will be critical in making sure that these hatches can be opened up. We did see a bit of a desync from the attack over towards Kennels in a previous round. It is important that you seize on that window of opportunity. Sage is down below, has a claw in hand, may elect to juggle, but doesn't. And the attack not landing that EMP on the claw, I don't think. So unfortunately, doesn't look like Moto will be getting opened up, and just like that, Bliss sort of indirectly cutting down at those win conditions now already for Carlton's Knights.
Not a bad drone. Got shot out immediately. Got a bit of intel onto Brendo over towards Generator. Not a surprise that there's probably really holding there anyway. Just a affirmation though. Just over a minute left though for Carlton's Knights. Moto apparently not going to be opened up, and Phoenix lurks deep. But this is the territory that Fisher guy will hold down very comfortably. You'd back him in. Phoenix gets away from that little trap. 50 seconds remains. Kitchen hatch opened up. That will be a drop point. Main stairs, a pressure point as well. But the other 2 hatches are still locked out. That is not going to be helpful at all for Carlton's Knights, and hence why Sage is able to just sit in Moto for free. Neptune finds the kill onto Oda. The chance is here now for Carlton's Knights. You want to spoil this party, you need to pop some balloons now. Vincier with the kill onto Brendo. They are finally able to get some of these ones to land, to go their way. Sage now in church, finds the kill. Pat has got Diffuser, and he's sticking that one onto the ground. Now Phoenix is already down. Vincier half health, Nitrocell unable to find the mark, and he gets 1. Can he make it 2? From here, it's probably unlikely. Vert control through the hatch. Sage, default, watching, waiting. Knights finally will get that kill.
And a 2-4 now, Jake. It doesn't look that bad, does it? It starts to make things a little bit more intriguing. Bliss not quite running away with that lead. They mounted 4 straight. But then unfortunately here, round 6, Jigsaw caught off guard on the roam. Then we saw a couple of players caught on islands around site. Very atypical there from Team Bliss. A good effort, as you would expect from Sage, but clinical, it must be said, from Carlton's Knights. Now we get to see what they've got in store for the defense.
First round's so important here, isn't it? Right, 3-4. Suddenly the scoreline is just back to being even margin. You're on the defense. Clubhouse, they go straight Church Arsenal. No surprise there. They needed that round. Massive difference in this game between 2-4 and 5-1. It is, I know it's only the one round. It's astronomical. It's absolutely massive. And so now Carlton's Knights can have a bit of that belief once again. Started the half well, first round. Won out Gym Bedroom with a good jacuzzi push, and they closed it out well as well, winning out Basement. So some 2 good rounds from them. Phoenix got that opening kill to start it off, got rid of Jigsaw, but Jigsaw is now on the Nook. He's going to go roaming. He'll have that license, and he is the play to watch. Carlton's Knights are going to be careful here. You don't want to just sit on site, 5 on site, and give Team Bliss all the time in the world. You've got to meet them head on. You've got to back yourselves in that you can win the ones.
A lot of Bliss's attacks, depending on, well, it's pretty much not map dependent across the entire pool so far from what we've seen. It relies a lot on so many pre-placed drones that are great. I mean, look at the positions being locked down. Then Jigsaw, he'll enter, he'll sneak around, get some map control. Then the rest of the team will force defenders into those lurkers that the positions are unknown of to the defense, right? So it makes it very, very difficult for these roamers to have an impact. Oh, should we mention what's going on or just not?
No, definitely not.
Okay, we'll just ignore the clowns behind us.
Well, it's a big round. Round 7. Bliss for their first attacking point here in the second half. Underway we go. Phoenix on the Mozzie. Could deny a lot of intel over towards main stairs and holding that very critical position. Early drop through logistics and the push through Jigsaw on Nook. It's a very swift clear up above on the second floor. And I think Phoenix immediately just senses that pressure, gets away. 5 drones already gone. 5 remain. Never mind, make it 4. So at least Carlton's Knights doing a good job of dealing with the information drone game of Team Bliss, and they go back to site now. They will commit 5 on site. They give it up rather early, not looking for contact, didn't want to take the ones, but did hold some intriguing positions. Nevertheless, though, they give it all up. Jigsaw will drone bot main. Where's the point of attack, though, for Team Bliss?
Well, it feels like a pretty even round at the moment. Still time for Bliss, and they'll get to work on the vert. Next minigame is opening up Moto Kitchen Hatch. They've already opened up blue, so that allows Brendo to apply pressure onto this position, and he'll be formidable on this entry. So I'm not too concerned about Bliss here. They should get control in towards Gen, and Neptune will be under the pump to shut that down. Elsewhere, it's going to come down to where Bliss want to go for the plant. Do they want to drop Hatch? Do they want to go triple? Do they send someone dirt for that additional pinch to AK? There are options. They are available, and they've still got time. I think they can just use this next sort of 20 seconds to really prepare and sync up on what they want to go for.
Shield taken down over in Arsenal. 40 seconds. Hatch going to get opened up. Very slowly. A couple of X-Cars at a time as to make sure that it doesn't get denied. As those two did. These two will get the job done. 30 seconds. It will be a drop. It will be a rush. But if anyone's going to be able to just rush onto site and win their trades, it is Team Bliss.
Oda will flush down the Hatch. There'll be a push from Oil. Diffuser in the hands of Fish. He'll be looking to drop and sync up this push.
A spot at the major. Big round here. And it's Jigsaw that gets the opening kill. Onto mid-tier with the Nook. 6 and 2 now. Half health. Pat falls too. That's the smoke gone. There is a trade back, but it's only one. Carlton's Knights falling one by one. The push. Brendo gets 2 quick ones from blue. That's what they do best. Push through. Win their ones. And absolutely slice apart the defense.
Big round there from Jigsaw. He wins that kill over towards Moto, onto Vinny. If he doesn't win that, and Vinny then opens up the line of sight through blue, could have played coverage to AK, could have potentially made things a lot more interesting there, but credit to Bliss. They set themselves up nicely. And often when we talk about time and the time remaining, when it starts to get a little bit iffy, I think for Bliss, they get a pass in some sense. They can often have maybe 5-10 seconds less because we know that they are so in sync and ready to go that they don't need that additional time that other teams do.
Works here. Don't know if that's going to work at the major.
Are they going to the major though?
Well, they're not too far away. 2 more rounds and they certainly will be.
Are you going to the major?
I'm certainly not. I wish. Are you?
I don't know.
No. Into the 8th round we go. Plus 3 round advantage now for Team Bliss. But this is also where you do get a little bit of that external pressure as you kind of get closer to that point, that margin where it's sort of like, hey, we're actually not that far away now. We just have to lock in, win these last couple of rounds. Arms get a little bit sweaty. Hands.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
Knees weak. Watch out for that spaghetti. And it might just then give Carlton's Knights a chance to maybe capitalize if there is the odd mistake here or there. Cash and CCTV. Round number 8. 2 rounds away from Copenhagen.
And the Monty comes out. His army there is in response, though, from Neptune. Main wall. Will Bliss get aggressive here? Try and play off the breach? I thought maybe Fisher would stick around. But Bliss, they just take a step back. That's 1 point on the checklist ticked off. Next, it will be clearing out Garage. And Neptune isn't in the best of positions here to start placing barriers to actually counter that Monty. He's not playing Rafters, instead electing to play Lounge. Bliss might read into that and see this as now an even better opportunity to exploit this position, begin pressuring Rafters and seeing if they can get that control quite early on in the round. A lot of it also hinges on control over the Ward's Lounge itself. Oda watching front door. Worthy may elect to go pool and go for the jump out, so we'll need to keep an eye on that as Jigsaw entry down below.
Oh my, Jiggy.
And his army is down, and that's going to do big things for Fisher on the Monty, and Bliss now a huge step in this round. Worthy as well taken down. Jigsaw on a heater. He's been quiet by his standards in this stage, but in this game, 8 and 2, a 2 versus 4. The Monty pressuring Pat. It's up to him and Vinny now to really step up. It's a 3-on-3 with Worthy down.
Well, we know how big Vincier can be in these clutch moments. They're probably going to have to call on him again. Pat's been playing well throughout the gas babe. Wasn't able to do much to Fisho. Vinny's going for the rotate to get Worthy back up over towards Bar. That's a big, big call. It may be worth it, though, with still a minute left. And a very slow pushing Montang means it's not going to necessarily be that fast-paced attack rush here from Bliss, and you've got Pat on site. Whoever made that call, it's a big one, and it might just work. Gas Babe's being thrown out by Pat. He's got one more. Looking to deny this plant from Fisho, and good indeed it is. He can fall back. Got to watch out, though. Wall electrified. Took a little bit of damage there. Fisho's got to be careful. One more Gas Babe still for Pat. He has to be very careful looking for this plant. Can Pat stop this one with another Gas Babe before he can get it stuck? If he gets it stuck, that's probably the round. Fisho will get it down. Now it's a real 1v3 once again for Vincia, and they've got Breach open watching. He's got to deal with the Montang. It's very unlikely, even for a seasoned veteran like Vincia. As great as he is and as great as his clutches have been in the last few weeks, this one, probably the hardest of them all.
Fisho just stands there. It's all he needs to do. Vinny knows it. He admits defeat. Rotates top red.
Look at Jigsaw
with the ha-ha in chat. Team Bliss. Match point, major point.
1 round away from the major for Team Bliss. And it's just focused faces, a few array smiles. They know that they're almost there, that the party can almost begin.
Great round there from Jigsaw. Absolutely going ballistic in this game. Great entry down below. He's really shown up today. We go over to bedroom and gym as Carlton's Knights look to hold on for a little while longer, but at the moment it does feel like a futile effort. Bliss, as we came to expect, and as they've shown time and time again, seriously, just on a different level right now at the start of 2023.
Yeah, I mean, bringing it back down maybe just that little bit, you can't just help but feel like they've been so far above and beyond everyone else in this region.
Yep.
Which for some, that might be a little bit concerning, because it's like, well, who's the real challenger? Can they get the proper test that they might need at these kind of levels like the major? But I think that they wouldn't care. They've been the challengers in the past. They've been on the other side of things when they've failed at, you know, relegation battles, and then they've fallen short in best of threes, and they've never been able to make a TAPAC South. This is their time to shine.
They've waited a long time.
They certainly have.
They've grown a lot of grey hairs in the last couple of years. I can guarantee that.
I mean, I was in my 20s back when...
Back in my day.
Back in my day. No.
In black and
white.
Well,
you would imagine they're home now, right? 4-round differential. Obviously for Carlton's Knights, it's not like there's really anything for them to ride home about, and they'll just say, well, we were never expected to win anyway. But they've done all right. They've done some good things, but at the moment, one thing they've not been able to do is win a defensive round. Jigsaw lurks down through Secret into blue. And for those Bliss fans watching on, whether you're an employee, a fan, 2 minutes away from celebrating one of the biggest milestones that this organization has had since their inception.
And for those in the wildcard camp, well, it's time to cheer on Carlton's Knights even harder. Because Team Bliss edging closer and closer from denying that opportunity. The match next week against wildcard will not matter for Bliss. A win here is enough. Minute 30, Jacuzzi open. Good positions, good attempt on the nade, but Phoenix just able to survive on the tiles. Doesn't quite land. Mirror windows getting popped open and the pressure is just mounting. And Team Bliss, they love to lurk, they love to get in positions, they love to build up this pressure. And Worthy, though, the spanner in the works, but Oda gets the first. Phoenix responds. Down below, Worthy still on the lurk, waiting around, and it's a waiting game between him and Jigsaw.
It's a stare-off. Who's going to blink first, Worthy or Jigsaw? I feel like whoever wins this battle maybe wins the round. That's how big it is. Over towards main stairs. They both are aware. They're both just holding their line. Noah makes a move until it will be Worthy that moves a little bit first. He does blink, but he falls back into position. 50 seconds left. Now he goes back through bot main. Jigsaw still watches, waits. He finally moves. He finally blinks, and Worthy will close his eyes forever. 4 versus 3 and under 40 seconds to go. Logistics hatch will be the drop now for Brendo. But here comes Fisho. Here comes Brendo. Team Bliss make their mark, their stand, and their final push towards the major. Once again, it's down to Bliss and the brothers to do it. Sage and Brendo versus Worthy and Neptune. 20 seconds left. The pressure definitely on the brothers here. On the attack. Sage with Diffuser, but Worthy with the flank. You would think surely he will be able to deny. Technically, it's a 2 versus 1. Brendo can't watch his brother, can't keep him safe. In towards Jim. Sage turns 180 flick, wasn't successful enough, and he falls and he's down. And surely they won't do a logic here. They won't. They'll get the counter defuse. And the celebrations just hold on for a little bit longer.
Bated breath. I thought the brothers might have it in them. But a 2v2 turns to a 1v2 as that plant goes down. Sage, one of the best, one of the most composed we have in the region. But even we could see the stress he was under, trying to hold down both angles. Didn't win that initial fight, under pressure for the second, loses it.
For that split moment, Worthy had the decision in his hands. Do I just let go and send them on their way? And then he could say, hey, boys, I sent you to the major myself. That battle, though, was probably the biggest turning point, I think. If Jigsaw wins, he gets that kill onto Worthy, gets control of main stairs. Eventually, that flank onto Brendo doesn't take place, and they probably win the round.
I tell you what, that was close from Sage. Almost dinked the first, and if he ended up even still getting the second, Worthy was not there to immediately trade, but look, not meant to be.
Yeah.
3-round buffer, that's the important thing.
Well, this is the thing though, right? 3 rounds seems like a buffer, as you said. It's great.
It's a full rotation.
It's fun. Well, we go down to Church Arsenal though, then it becomes 4-6, and then 5-6 because of some weird round, and then tactical timeout, and then it's overtime.
You're not going to be that guy, come on.
It could happen.
I mean, it could.
I didn't say it will.
And it shouldn't.
It shouldn't. Surely?
I don't know who wrote the script.
Well, we'll have to see. I haven't been able to find the script, by the way. I've been looking for it. I think maybe Rob stole it.
Maybe.
Maybe. So, 6-3. 3 match points, 3 league points, 3 major points for Team Bliss. Surely this one's not destined to be heartbreak.
Well, Bliss have been there, they've done that, and they're ready to put that behind them.
Ooh, that would be a tilter. That would happen to me as well.
That's right, Jigsaw's not going to fall for that.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing the Nook, you can push through strip, take a little bit of a detour, and make sure that you're not going to get spawn peeked over towards Jacuzzi. You'll make the little roam.
And Fisho's just watching his drone, so they probably have a drone here somewhere in bar. They know that this map, side of the map, completely clear. And the second they spot someone, Jigsaw, ready, waiting, easy kill.
Jigsaw gets the first of many to come, you would imagine, in this round for Team Bliss. Still more to be done. Church and Arsenal isn't a given. Out of 5 versus 4 advantage for the attackers. No. You're going to do a lot more than that. And you just imagine Kelton's Knights still have some things to say in this round, especially with the way that Worthy's propped up over towards Garage.
Probably looking to just try and make a play, catch someone off guard. But that's hard against Bliss, because their drone work is so damn good. They still have 8 up. Jigsaw has his flanks now covered with his 2 drones. Where they might still be in a playmaking position, but that opportunity, that window, it feels so slim. And while he's off site, there's no keeper barriers now being placed on site.
Well, no hatches have been opened up yet. So there's 90 seconds left to go in the round, and hatches, oh, the timing. Oh my God. Worthy's so unlucky, by the way. Holding that angle for like all of about a minute, eventually starts moving, and Brendo just says, hello. Glad you could move, glad you could make way, because we're heading to the major. It was a worthy lurk, but it doesn't quite come off. And Fisher Guy is an absolute menace on that Montang in dirt.
It's a triple stack blue for Carlton's Knights. I mean, they'll rotate out. Util pressure, minute to go, Fisho deep. And any moment now, he will go for a series-defining plant. Bliss setting up that coverage. Sage will rotate. Fisho will go in for this critical plant. There's still time. Bliss can make this time work. A 5v3 advantage as the plant now goes down.
Have to deny the plant. That's the most critical part here. Otherwise, you've got to retake Vert above up in kitchen, and he gets the plant down. There is absolutely no way that Bliss are going to lose from this position. It is happening before their very eyes. They have transformed as a team from challengers who struggled to make APAC South, failed time and time again in best of 3s, in regulations and relegations. This time, though, they now become the champions. They now become #1 and will be making their way to the major as the best from Oceania.
A deserved win and a deserved qualification for the major. They will represent Oceania